Hi classmates, I'm here to review the book The One and Only Ivan. Katherine Applegate's Newbery Medal winning book, The One and Only Ivan, will tug at the heartstrings of students, parents, and teachers alike. This book has the ability to remind the reader of heavy themes such as sickness, death, and loss, and unfairness, without losing hope or lightness. Through this story, Applegate empowers young readers to connect their own lives to the lives of animals that are not so different from themselves. I was recently able to get a class set of this book donated, and my third grade class is already 50 pages into it. Each day we read several pages, pausing to discuss vocabulary words, metaphors, and our inferences, and most often students' connections that they have with the book. They love to bring their own lives into the book. And let me tell you, this book has brought a lot of connections. My students and I agree that this time is our favorite part of the day because we're able to have connections and conversations about the literature that can bring out. While reading The One and Only Ivan, it seems that every single sentence brings a ton of just raised hands bobbing up and down, with students wanting to share a thought or an inference or a prediction or just a life connection. My students are asking questions, holding dialogue about the ethics of keeping animals in cages. They get upset over humans coming to visit and spitting at the animals. We had an extensive discussion revolving around Stella's claim that old age is a powerful disguise. I loved this quote that Stella the elephant said, and my students loved it too, and they were able to share lots of heartwarming stories with each other about elders in their own lives who can still cause trouble. When a book can stimulate meaningful conversation in a classroom of students of all reading levels, I think it is a sign of excellent literature. Applegate's writing style also allows my students to begin the important reading habit of making inferences. For example, in my class, we recently read the few pages where we learned the background of Ivan's friend Bob, the stray dog who was abandoned by humans in a ditch. My students were able to really grapple with the idea and discuss the fact that humans would actually do such a thing. And they were able to infer that Bob's siblings did not survive the abandonment. Although this is a heavy and emotional event, Applegate leaves the inferring up to the reader, and I think that this leaving of hints actually really allows them to make their own conclusions and helps them to practice good reading. She does not convolute the story. On the contrary, she empowers readers to read her words wisely. She allows them to find information within the brief phrases that she gives. I think it's really awesome because she also writes it in the perspective of the gorilla, and as gorillas do not waste their words, neither does Applegate. This book is full of carefully chosen words, phrased in just the right way to make the reader think and feel a little more. It's the perfect chapter book for students who maybe aren't loving reading just yet, but allows them to really think carefully about each word without being overwhelmed by the amount of words on the page. As a person concerned with the future of the natural world, this book gives me comfort. When my students spend so much time on screens, I worry that they're losing a connection with the natural world. But as we read this book together, I've noticed they're really connecting with the animals in this book. Our follow-up project for this book will be a research project on an animal of my students' choosing, and already my students are excited about researching elephants and gorillas, and I think it's really wonderful for them to be able to connect with those characters that are not human. So I think that's important for them to connect with the natural world as well, and for them to really care about other organisms besides human beings. This curiosity and empathy for the natural world carries seamlessly into the world of conservation and the need for our planet to have responsible caretakers in the future, and I know that my students will probably feel more connected because of this book. As this review suggests, I love this book. It's engaging, it's heartwarming, and thought-provoking. The topics discussed are much more approachable for young people when they're given in the context of a delightful story like this one. I appreciate Katherine Applegate for providing the foundation for some truly excellent discussions to be shared in my third grade classroom. And thank you to our professors for recommending this book for us.